At some point, I have to pay the loan. At some point, I have to get the job. At some point, I have to at least get permanent residency. How am I going to do this? Adaptability is more important than knowledge and wisdom.
Look, don't let your parents decide what you're going to be in life.
Yeah.
I completely changed my career from aerospace engineering to data science. Dad badly wanted me to be a doctor. Okay? Because the government would ask too many questions.
We have a guest today, and he is none other than Mr. Sumit Pokhrel. He's a genius.
No.
He's
Please allow me to say that.
What's your alma mater?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M graduate.
Oh.
Wow,
Texas
that's
A&M.
prestigious. What did you study?
I studied aerospace engineering.
Woo! That's it, man.
Rocket science.
That's it.
Rocket
That's
science,
why I'm
right?
saying genius, and he's telling me, oh no.
Alright.
Alright.
It's like a humble.
I
humble
feel
guy.
right for myself. First, I apologize because this statement sounds a little sweeping. It has a little bit of philosophical overtone, so I'm no philosopher. But at the end of the day, what I have realized and learned in this short due course of life is adaptability is more important than knowledge and wisdom.
100%.
At the end of the day.
Man, I learned
100%.
more than a lot.
Say one-liner.
It's so important, man. That's why we, as a human, defines as the adaptability.
Damn.
Learning how to survive,
No,
That is his story, right? So when he is trying, he gave up his he was a computer electrical, and he gave up and he pursued his passion. Then he's after his passion no matter what. All his throttles are up.
But
and
he still is not done yet.
Yeah,
He
that's
has
what
to do a
I'm saying.
lot.
He's adapting, and
Flame
that's
is
difficult.
just starting.
Just starting.
He got married to a foreigner, right? So think about how much adaptability came into the picture.
yeah.
How much he learned during the adaptability.
Yeah.
I completely changed my career from aerospace engineering to data science. It was not my knowledge that was important when I started working. It was adaptability with the clients that became more important.
Yeah, it's like that. I've seen
and
so many of my friends. They are like accounting major.
Yeah.
They are like data scientists, the software developer now.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's not because of the knowledge that you have.
Right. It's not.
You
It has nothing to do with my
change,
knowledge.
Just sync with
You
whatever-
sync with whatever
You
it
have
is.
to be adaptable.
भन्छ नि ठुलो भएपछि डक्टर हुनुपर्छ इन्जिनियर हुनुपर्छ यताउति
Yeah.
that is what society
Exactly.
puts our expectation, but bro, you don't know what's your life gonna take you.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell the kids nowadays too, man. Like, look, don't let your parents decide what you're gonna be in life, right? And when my parents wanted me to be a doctor or medical field, so they sent me to school to go for science, for biology, whatever. Look at I am. I till that day, like the first day I went to college, I knew I was never gonna be a doctor. I knew it, but I still went because I wanted to satisfy my parents' wants and needs, and they wanted me to do that. All right, cool, I'll go. But at the end of the day, life takes you different courses. You may end up somewhere else.
It's called
completely different.
adaptability.
You gotta just keep adapting, keep moving.
Adapting, right? Yeah.
So in adaptability, there is another thing that I want to talk about.
Okay.
It's called competing priorities. When priorities compete. So
Okay, tell me that.
Yeah, let me tell. I will even include him in
Why?
because he would also
That's
be
a good
relevant.
example today.
He's been an example, but I was also an example. So let's see that. So I was very passionate about aerospace engineering. It was my long cherished dream, right?
When did you start?
I started doing in 2007.
When did you imagine I would?
Oh, it was long time ago in 2003.
Guy.
I was
Right.
Yeah.
He is from Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And he's
Shout out,
speaking
shout
the
out.
facts.
Yeah. So I was extremely passionate. So I gave up. I sacrificed a lot. I took loan and went to one of the best schools.
You grew up in Chitwan.
Yeah, and then they barely wanted dad barely wanted me to be a doctor. Okay, and also he was in a position to personally finance me in a good medical education, which is good and bad. Bad because he could try to strongly persuade me or try to force me to do.
Right.
Doctor.
Yeah, to be a doctor.
Nepal is like a doctor.
Yeah, and then it's a significant amount of capital to be invested.
So
at
you
that
did
time.
your SLC +2 from Nepal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then I decided to come over here, and then I came to liberal arts school.
So when did that spark come in your head? Aerospace. Okay.
Oh, that came I used to watch war movies and all that, and then History Channel.
What age was this?
That was, I think it was 15, 16.
Yeah, that's a good word to be inspired too.
That's
right?
an inspiration.
Movies.
Right.
Right before SLC or that time?
Yeah, at that
Okay,
time.
okay.
Yeah. So
aerospace.
like missiles and all that, even the Gulf War was so fascinating to me. Missile intercepts.
He's a war expert, like
Yeah.
he knows
Shooting
a lot
down
about
the fighter
war
jets.
historian, basically.
Do you read this book? Have you read this book called Art of War?
Yeah,
Oh,
of
Yeah, of
course.
course.
He gifted me from
Yeah,
my
he
I
gifted
gifted
him.
him the book.
No, I'm reading.
Yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's a
good.
very good
Sounds
book.
good.
So yeah, you are fascinated
Good.
by war
I got a couple, I'll
missiles.
give
About
it to
the
you.
war,
Yes.
primarily the weapon systems
Tactic
and
of
military
war.
strategy.
So, yeah.
This was 15, 16 years old.
Oh, more than
Okay,
that.
okay.
Yeah. So I got but then I came to Cordwell, a liberal arts college that he knows, Cordwell College. There was
Cordwell College. Shout out to Cordwell University, my homies
Yeah.
from New Jersey.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So I was there, and then I didn't like that. So I made a lot of personal sacrifice. I took loans. I transferred. I lost like 1.5 years of coursework. I would have graduated like way early than when I graduated. So, but I still went because I thought like I don't want to regret the rest of my life.
Right.
You
Because
do.
that's
Yeah.
what you chose.
That's exactly.
That's what you
chose.
chose.
Yeah, that's what I chose. But things took a different course. But let me complete.
Yeah.
So then it was a lot of sacrifice. I got behind 1.5 years in my career or in my education, and then it was like a lot of money too that like I collected, and then I studied, and then the school was extremely tough, and
Texas
I kept on,
A&M.
I kept on studying, and then I realized when I was within first year that they changed a lot of rules after 9/11, making it next to impossible for foreigner to get into this industry. I was like, okay, and then I sought advice from like there was one of the top dog in aerospace. His name is Raktim Bhattacharya.
Shout out.
Yeah. He said, don't worry about it, just keep on studying, things will come back and fall into place. I was like, okay.
Good advice.
Yeah, and then I kept on doing. Then what happened was I figured out that even if you are a foreigner, there are still like 5% of the jobs that are for foreigners in civil aerospace sector, like Boeing
Just
and Learjet.
right.
Yeah, 5%. And looking at how I was doing, I still had some chance.
Okay.
So I kept on doing, and then the Boeing passed, like they made a new policy that they won't sponsor foreigners in the middle of when I was in the college.
Pizza.
That was like a big catch-22 for me.
Yeah.
Sponsor foreigners?
Yeah, like
The
they have
H1B
to sponsor.
visa.
Yeah,
Used to be-
they have
they
to
used to
sponsor.
do
They
that.
won't sponsor foreigners.
Yeah, they stopped doing
Yeah,
that.
not
H1B
anymore.
visa. Okay?
Yeah, they stopped doing that. Boeing and Learjet both stopped doing
Why
that.
did they do that?
They said
Defense,
that because
I think,
but
defense.
because the government would ask too many questions, so they don't want no
Too
hassle.
much clarification
Yeah.
needed. I
The
mean,
public something.
especially when it comes to
clearance
security
or
clearance
something.
and
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
things. Right?
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah.
it's a little hassle. They'd rather not do.
Only-
So if a
So-
foreigner who is a US citizen also
No,
they
no,
won't
no,
get
no,
it?
they will
US
get it.
citizen, like
They will get it.
now I
The
can,
foreign-
right?
okay.
At that time, it was
Okay.
a different story.
Okay.
Now, like, so I was in a real big catch-22, and there are like, so then what I'm saying is, so I was talking about competing priorities, right? So pragmatism start hitting me hard.
Right.
Like at some point I have to pay the loan. At some point I have to get the job. At some point I have to at least get permanent residency. How am I going to do this? I'm already, 24, 25, and my career is nowhere in sight. Am I going to return Nepal after spending 45 grand?
Oh man.
That really came to start hitting me so hard that I have never it was a very stressful situation.
I think
for
so
me.
that's like likely for a lot of
I was talking about the same thing.
They can share the
So
sentiment.
maybe for Saroj, also the priorities might have competed, like you have to make some money and then you have to do this, get a job, and then there is a DJ thing that he wants to do in a full throttle. So what I'm saying is, at some point priorities compete and it makes things difficult for everyone.
for everyone. Yeah.
For people especially who pursue passion, their pragmatism versus passion, that debate will go into your hearts and mind.
I
Always,
tried.
always.
Yeah, I tried.
Okay,
it
let's
much.
continue with that.
Right.
Pay loans.
Yeah,
And
so I was awestruck with this idea. So how am I going to do this? And all of my friends were doing computer science, chemical engineering, and rest of the engineering. They were getting jobs like that from
Right
Texas
and
A&M
left, yeah.
and getting a job, and then they were getting green card sponsorship and all that. So I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
that'd be
I'm going nowhere
practical.
with this. So at some point you have pragmatism would hit you hard. So that hit me.
Yeah.
One of my friend too. He came in. Wichita State University.
Yeah.
He's a big in aerospace,
Kansas?
right? Kansas.
Right.
Same pragmatism. Reality hit him hard, and he's in Nepal now. But he's still doing his aviation thing.
So what did you do after that?
So So I talked to my advisor, and I was like, I did really well in one of the summer student undergraduate research program. You know, they hire undergrad to do research, and they pay you like 5-6 grand for a summer. That was a good opportunity. So I worked my ass off, and I impressed him. And he said, and then he called me into his office, and he showed me a laptop. I'm going to hire you for a grad school. So,
not bad.
Yeah. So I was like, okay,
That's
so
good.
That's good.
yeah, this is good. And then he was like, okay, this is your stipend. You're going to be the teaching assistant. I'll give you $1,700 a month, and let's do, you know, PhD and all that. So I was like, I couldn't decide. So I thought, and so I went for it. And then I also figured out that
This was in Texas.
Yeah, in the same school. And once I kept going, this regulation regarding aerospace for foreigners, it kept on getting stringent. You know, there is only a downfall to it.
Harder and harder.
And I found people who were significantly smarter than me. We're from Indian Institute of Technology in India.
IIT.
Yeah, they were there, and they were struggling to find the jobs, and a couple of them returned back to India.
Dang.
So I was
Tough,
like, what
man.
the fuck am I do? What should I do? You know, and when you talk to people, you know, they just like go with, you should follow your passion, and they give one liner, and I was like, this is not gonna work.
Yeah.
This is just a cliche. When priorities compete, it hits you so bad, and then you have to make a decision that caters a judicious balance, like this line between those two.
Como dubbio